Hey guys, welcome to the Approach to Nerd Charmed Season 3, Episode 6, After Show Spoiler Review. That is literally a mouthful. Um, so I've got my water, I got my steamed popcorn, and I've got my emotional issues over this episode. Yay, which is why I have the popcorn. Okay. Where to begin? Okay. There are aspects of this episode that I liked, and then there are aspects of this episode where I'm like, what the hell? So let's just give an overview of what happened in this episode, and then I'm going to rant with my popcorn, my water, and my emotional issues. So there is basically an orb center in this episode. Macy, because Maggie has been pretty much monitoring this guy Elliot, who the alien hunter guy that we saw in the last two episodes, because Maggie's been keeping tabs on him, and they keep noticing that he has a connection to these symbols, the ancient symbols that Macy wants to investigate. Well, Mel doesn't want to go because she has to go see Ruby, and Maggie is going to work on her project, her senior project, trying to get the internship, basically. And so they both kind of bail out. Now, this time, though, at least they gave a reason. At least Macy seemed like she gave a crap that even Mel wasn't going to go. So that was cool. But that basically meant she got to spend more time with Harry. So they go to Lake Tahoe, where Elliot lives, and he is paranoid, and he's still very, very obsessed with aliens. So he's like, asking crazy questions like, what did you smell when you were taking? And he's like, thankfully not. That whole interaction was funny, but they end up seeing the orb because he showed, the orb is like laying out, and Macy goes to touch it. And he gets like really possessive of it, and that's when I knew that something was going on with this orb in this episode. They're kind of probing him, asking him how he knows to go to these places that obviously there are these creatures that they're trying to figure out. And he's like, let's just say, intuition. Well, it turns out this orb gives you the ability to see what, gives you clairvoyance, basically, and probably able to see things that, maybe into other dimensions. I think it's a pretty broad scope. Like when you look into it, it's like an eye and then like a bunch of rainbow colors, like a kaleidoscope, which is Macy keeps referring to it like a kaleidoscope, but with, benefits. The only, trade-off is that it literally makes the user blind the longer they use it, and then eventually kills you because Elliot ends up dying. So I'm under the impression that he's had it for a long time. So, yeah, it kind of sucked because Macy and Harry broke in. They took the orb, they teleported out. And it wasn't until Harry started like acting like Barry Allen did in The Flash, when his cognitive, thinking was affected by the artificial speed force. And he's just writing stuff really fast and coming up with equations that I almost feel like the writers pulled from The Flash on this episode. They're like, yeah, I'm going to pull that. Because, they seem to do that on the CW. But that's how he was acting. He was writing all these equations out and all these things. And, we come to find out in this episode that everything that Harry was writing actually means something. And I'll get to that again at the end. But it was interesting seeing Macy have to deal with two things with Harry. Number one, she had to deal with the fact that he became very feral in terms of her touching that orb. Like he was ready to fight. He was very, very obsessed and protective of this orb. And then number two, they finally addressed the elephant in the room. And that's that Harry realized he's old. And he's dating a younger woman. I'm like, we kind of knew, this from season 1 when we had the inclination that he might be into her, that he was a lot older. But somehow he now has figured out that he's old. Now, we'll say this. I was very curious. Every time Harry like stands up and his back feels like it's going out, it doesn't make sense to me, because if you never age, then why are you having those ailments? Because I'm in my 40s and that happens to me. I'm old. But like, why is that happening to Harry if he's not supposed to age? So that's just something I thought was interesting. And I mean, it could just be, oh, well, it's a regular human response, blah, blah, blah. But he's not supposed to be aging. So he should not be having these geriatric moments. I'm just saying. All right. So yeah, so Macy has her hands full. Plus, I love the fact that she has this long list of stuff, like even in the middle of her and Harry researching the orb, how he got infected in the first place, that she got called away to deal with like 4 or 5 different issues, at Safe Space. And I kept thinking, why are you not calling Swan? Make her upper management and let her handle this. This girl lives for this stuff. Why are you doing this? I mean, she is living, unless it's something with the board, which you have to. Why are you meeting with the sanitation violations? Why are you doing all this other stuff? Have Swan do it. That girl probably, I really think she'd be over the moon to deal with this stuff. So somebody needs to just like knock, knock, knock. Macy, Swan, she loves it. Just do it. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with them. At the same time, Maggie is being sabotaged by someone who she immediately thinks is Antonio. Somebody wrote false names on her volunteer sign up for her project, which, we already saw that she was going to do a project using basically dance to deal with trauma. And so she decides to get revenge by changing, all of the information on his sign up board. And then I already knew it wasn't him because they kind of made it seem like, she was just jumping in too quickly. And it's really interesting that she fell on witchcraft to deal with a human problem. But she ends up doing it. And then, he basically comes to her and says, I think I know who messed up my, my sign up sheet. And they got you too, basically. And she's like, yeah, you can dish it, but not take it. And then he's like, what are you talking about? It was the Sigmas. They did this as a prank. And then she's kind of standing there like, well, crap, now I look like a bee, which you are. I hate to say this. I love these characters, but this was not my favorite Mel or Maggie episode by any stretch of the imagination. Case in point, we also get the long overdue, but very unfulfilling conversation between Maggie and Jordan. Because Jordan is working for basically the firm he was doing the internship for. He's working on a case, and I want to say it's like something frog. I have to go back and look at my notes. He's got a case where it's called Shop Toad. So he's working on this thing with the corporation for Shop Toad. That's the case they're working on. And, Jordan wants to be more like a public defender, or, deals with, pretty much that between that and labor law and things like that. He wants to deal with the public and help people. And in this role, he's a corporate lawyer. So he's going after the little guys. He's going after the people that are victims, the people that are injured. And that's exactly what this case turns out to be. So Jordan is not having a good time at work. But what irritated me about the talk was that Maggie was like, oh, I know there's feelings there, but this is going to be the year of me, so I can focus on my dreams and my goals. And she just says this stuff, right? And then when her and Antonio make amends at the end of this episode, she has a vision of sleeping with this dude. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, really? And I feel so bad for Jordan. Like, I feel so bad for Jordan. I really do. Like, I love Hasey. I've always thought that Maggie and Jordan were cute together. I'm not a huge, shipper of that, but I think not only did he got kind of friend zoned, but he also got, he's pretty much getting effed over. Let's just be real. He's giving her all the space, all the time she needs to find herself. And she's finding herself by sleeping with this other guy that she was complaining to him about. She literally goes complaining to this, having Jordan, have her back against this guy that she's eventually going to break his heart over. And that irritates the hell out of me. It irritates the hell out of me. And then that whole vision of her sleeping with him is such an homage to Phoebe having a vision about having a baby and trying to find the baby's daddy. There's no difference between those scenes to me. Both of them are stupid. So irritated. Let me get my water, guys. This is my cute cup, by the way. I like big mutts and I cannot lie. And my dog looks just like that. Yeah, you probably can't see that. But yeah, just thought I'd bring the blood pressure down. So yeah, not happy with that. And then there's Mel, my favorite effing character in Charmed, who I actually didn't like in this episode. I did not like Mel at all in this episode. Yes, I am an Abby Mel person, but it's not even just about the whole relationship part. It's how she was treating Abby from the effing beginning. Abby she basically thinks someone's trying to kill her. We do learn it's actually her We learn it's her demon form. We learn that when she was a child, her mother basically stripped her demon side and put it in this totem. So that's why she wanted the totem back. And that she has abandonment issues. And Abby basically called that out about Mel too. Mel has abandonment issues. They are pretty much the same person. It's pretty messed up. But when Abby first comes to Mel, she asks Mel for help. She even says, you're pretty much the only person that I trust. And Mel basically was like, well, not my problem, yours. You deal with it. And it wasn't until Abby was like, you know how many times I've not only have I helped you and kept your sisters pretty much alive, which, you know, we can go back and dissect season 2 and parts of season 3 and see that that's true. I'm also, now that I'm the overlord, because she's the overlord right now, keeping all of her demons in check to stay away from the witches. And this woman, Mel had the audacity to be like, your problem, not mine. What if Abby does that? Oh, we know what happens when Abby does that. Harry yells at her and people yell at her and make her feel like crap and like she's not doing anything right. It is bad effing writing, guys. I'm sorry. This stuff is Jerry Springer 101. I was very unhappy with that. It just so effing annoying for me. To the point where even though I'm an Abby Mel fan right now, I don't want Abby and Mel together because Mel needs to grow the F up. And I'm being serious. And as for Ruby, I have no problem with Ruby. Ruby is adorable, but Ruby and Mel's chemistry for me and somebody else in this stream may disagree. That is completely okay. But for me, watching them together is like watching paint dry. It is boring. There's more chemistry in one scene in this episode between Abby and Mel than every scene I've seen with Ruby. So I don't get it. And then the whole thing with Mel being jealous of Bella the Muffin Instagram girl was stupid. I mean, yeah, you should be more upset that everybody can touch your girlfriend, not just the girl that asked her out last week. Now, I guess that's a natural emotion. We're women, we're emotional, but I mean, it's just, I feel like Abby deserves better. And let's talk about that. So yes, Abby's the one that's doing it. She's actually, some people, as she say, sleepwalk. This is her word. Some people sleepwalk and some people are prone to sleep harm. And that right there made me feel so effing depressed for this girl. Because you know, when her and Mel were together, like when they were at Abby's apartment, she said, I would feel a lot better if you would sleep in here with me. And Mel's like, don't push it. And then so she goes back to the manor and, you know, they get into it because basically when Ruby comes to the door, Abby's like, who is it? And she did it on purpose. But, you know, of course, Ruby got jealous and then broke up with Mel. And then Mel got mad at Abby and said, you did this on purpose. And then, you know, Abby's like, why don't you just deal with your actual issues, that you're a scared little witch that has abandonment issues, basically. So then Mel leaves Abby and Abby's like, wait, you're not going to stay with me? And she just goes off to bed. And I'm like, wow. And then tells her, you can sleep on the couch tonight, but you deal with your own problems tomorrow. That is some bitch chick right there. Ooh, I was like, wow. When does a charm one not help somebody who's being attacked because you're in your feelings? I haven't watched Batwoman tonight. I will do that tomorrow. Because I had a feeling it was going to be too much for me tonight. So I'll have a live stream probably tomorrow about 1 p.m. Central Time, Batwoman. But guys, let me get my water of lowering blood pressure. Okay. So back to Hasty, who quite frankly, at this point, even though he's kind of possessed by an orb and Macy doesn't know how to save him, is the most stable one in this whole series right now. So I do love that Macy was able to figure out how to save Hasty with the power of Hasty. So basically reminding him of who they are and what they can do today. And don't worry about tomorrow. Let's just love each other today. She talked him down with the Hasty fandom. And I was like, okay, you go, girl. I was cool with that. So Hasty got gold stars from me today. And everybody else kind of got like coal. Except for we have to give a gold star to Jordan because Jordan's just a trooper. He's hanging in there, man. He's trying to be relevant in this series because he sure as heck is not going to be relevant through Maggie. But yeah, so they fight. They figure out how to separate him from the orb, and then that's when we learn that there is a fifth dimension, and this fifth dimension that nobody can see is actually an Alcatraz for magical creatures. That when they basically combine the tree with the source, they open Pandora's box. Basically, is what happened. So all of these creatures that were imprisoned are all coming through. This is kind of like Doctor Who, pretty much, because something similar happened in one of the storylines where a lot of creatures got out of jail and we're coming down to Earth. So I thought that was interesting. They were going to use the power of 3 on Abby. It was cool visually, but I was like, wow, that's kind of messed up. And we actually saw Mel use her Elsa powers semi-effectively. So there's that. I mean, we got one shot of Mel using her powers, and we also saw Macy use her powers twice. She used her telekinesis to make the dishes fall to distract Elliot so they could steal the orb. And then she used them again when she went back and he attacked her, even though he was blind, and she like blasted him, kind of did her blue. It's blue crazy mobilization power. It's really weird. But yeah, I felt so bad for Elliot. Elliot died. And I'm like, RIP. I mean, we just got introduced to this alien hunter and he is already gone. I'm like, well, that's how it rolls. We have expendable characters in this series. But yeah, not my favorite episode, guys. It was not my favorite episode. I'm so annoyed at both Mel and Maggie. And I rarely ever get, well, to be fair, there really isn't a lot to get annoyed at Mel about because she's normally in the background. But when I don't want this to be her season, whenever she has lines and a role, she's just gonna be this biatch because that's what she was like. She's not like the character that I like. That was some messed up. I mean, mess up. And then her telling Ruby at the end, I don't want Abby, I just want you. I was like, wow, which is fine. You don't have to want Abby right now. It's just the fact that you literally took a crap on this girl and then you left her alone. Like, even when they were talking at the table, she's like, well, I guess you just need to work through this stuff. And Abby has abandonment issues. And you're abandoning her. Even as a friend, you are a concerned human being. You are abandoning her. Oh boy, guys. So let me look at some of your wonderful comments, because that's my recap. And you know what? I don't think I missed anything because most of it was shit. Excuse my French. Probably get demonetized for saying that, but it's just how I feel about this episode. So let's see. I mean, Macy's TK powers being blue. Yeah, I thought her powers were green in the episode when they were in the club. I don't know. Abby needs better friends. She really does. It was so sad to hear her say, you're just going to abandon me, or you're just going to leave me. You're not going to stay with me. Did you see her face? She looked terrified. And she's like, got the blanket all up. I'm like, this is messed up. And there's something to be said that the person she came to was Mel. She didn't go to Macy. She didn't go to Maggie. She didn't go to Harry. She didn't go to Jordan. She went to Mel and said, you are the only person I trust, which really she should say now, Jordan is the only person that I trust, because at least he didn't treat me like shit. If they don't start treating Abby better, I'm telling you. I mean, even when she's the ultimate evil, she's not. She literally just became the overlord. She blasts 2 demons out the window. They were demons and they were going to, they would have hurt people. I'm not saying you should kill people, but if you're going to kill somebody, at least it should be a demon in this universe. She keeps all of her demons in check so that the charm ones doesn't have to worry about being attacked. And what does she get for all of the stuff that they always have her do all of the time? She gets treated like crap. Horrible. And then poor Jordan. Jordan is like literally everybody's psychologist. He's Harry's psychologist. He's pretty much Abby's psychologist. He's always Maggie's psychologist. He's even given advice to Mel and Macy. Why do they treat Jordan like an expendable player in this game? Lord. I wonder where Godric is. I was thinking that too. Godric's in hiding. He's probably planning something major, but we probably won't see that for a while, because either that or we can just chalk it up to the fact that the writers forgot about him. I mean, because that would not be the first time that's happened. Abby is a sympathetic, bad anti-hero. I agree with that. I agree with that. This episode did a good job. Sorry, I just scrolled up again. I'm sorry. Did a good job of making me like Abby because, I mean, dang, they did her wrong. They did. I've been saying this from the beginning. They treat her like crap. They literally treat this character like crap, but yet that she's the first person they go to when they need stuff. Like, if you really think about tonight, as much as I love Hasty, they stole that orb from that guy, and the guy went blind and lost his life. So essentially, yes, he needed to be separated from it, but they should have actually seen what effects this has, on a person before you separate it, because obviously he was very possessive of it. And to be fair, he didn't have his eyes turn white and all that. But I mean, honestly, if you really look at it, had they not taken the orb from him when they did, they may have had a chance of saving his life. But while separating him for that long, he died. And that's effed up, and you got to have some balls, Macy, to steal from a man and then go back to that place to talk to him about it. I'm like, okay. Okay. Jordan needs to charge for all his advice he's given out. Yes, he needs to change his major to psychology, and then Maggie needs to drop her psychology major because she's not good at it. When Mel said to Abby, after Abby said her demon side is hurting herself, maybe you subconsciously is trying to tell you something, I said, damn. Yeah, she... No. Let me do it again. Guys. I was literally watching this episode, and I was thinking about this live stream. I'm like, I'm a very honest person on my streams and in my videos. I don't BS with reviews. I don't care if people get upset about it because it's how I feel. I'm never, and I've said this a million times, I'm never going to be that reviewer that says, oh my God, everything is great. It's amazing. I shipped this and I shipped that, and blah, blah, blah. Even if I ship something, there are flaws in things, because if you're trying to make a character dynamic, complex, like a real person, you have to have flaws. But you don't have to be written like a cold-hearted bee to get your point across. This isn't even about a ship for me. This is about treating another human being that is suffering like with respect and help this person who you have had help you and kept you alive multiple times. If Abby hadn't gone with her as a timekeeper when she was trying to find the part of the necklace for the source, she probably would be dead. So they suck. They suck. Both Mel and Maggie for me right now suck. And I've never thought I would ever say that about Mel, ever. I never really had a problem with Maggie. I see her as a child. Again, I'm somebody in my 40s. So she's somebody who's still learning how to be an adult and be mature in relationships, and coming from basically a sorority and being around frat guys and frat parties and all that stuff. Maggie is what she is. And let's not forget, let's be clear. Their mother is Marisol Vera, and their mother subscribed to cheating, and she passed that along to her children. So it is what it is. But I just have so many problems with how they are writing these characters. And you make us fall in love with these characters. First of all, you put us in this world in season 2 from season 1, which to me, season 1 wasn't bad. It had the creatures of the week. It had the whole element with the sword. It really was not as bad as people make it out. I actually liked season 1. Season 2, I had to wean myself on because it was hard. It was drastically hard. And now here we are in season 3, and it's like you're trying to undermine what you did in season 2. It's so weird to me. I don't get it. You're supposed to learn lessons from what you do, not just say, okay, this character can go over here, this can go on over here, and then change their personalities per episode. It is so irritating. Melanie Diaz is pregnant. I actually posted it on my community board because I saw a post that she did on Instagram. So her and her husband are pregnant. I don't know if they're writing that into the story, because I don't know how they'll write that in, since Mel is supposed to be a full lesbian. And I don't think she has plans of having a baby when she's still trying to figure out how to touch her girlfriend. But I digress. The dimension they were talking about this episode reminded me of Tartarus. I know, doesn't it? Yeah, there's so many. There's the Good, in Doctor Who. There's a bunch of different series I can think of magical creatures in a prison that get let out unintentionally. So Not a bad premise. I actually am kind of looking forward to seeing what else is, in that present that got out. So I'm really down with the storyline. I like what they're doing with the fifth dimension thing. It's their personal lives that suck, except for Hasey. I mean, Hasey is developing nicely, even with all their issues. It's just everybody else is sucking. So magical baby surrogate, maybe level out be hard. But I mean, who would she do that for? That would be interesting. Someone said she'll bring the Book of Shadows back and use that to cover her showing. Haha. Yeah, I can see that. She's probably going to be the character that just sits a lot and doesn't really do anything other than the creative angles where they aim the camera up and then they just like always show her from like the chest up, kind of like we do in these streams where we can't have our full bodies on the screen. Like StreamYard doesn't let you do that. They'll probably shoot her like shoot or have shots strategically like that whenever she has to stand or whatever. So yeah, they'll work around it. It's like how Barry doesn't learn from the Flash, but worse. I'm telling you, I think they follow the Flash plots. I was like getting really confused, especially when Harry was like writing on the board. I'm like, that's such a Barry thing from last week when he had his cognitive thinking affected by the artificial speed force and he's just going crazy. I'm like, all right, so they're stealing from each other again. Cool. Scrolling up. Sorry. Okay, they need to stop taking their allies for granted. Absolutely. First of all, let's talk about this, Jada. Not only your name, Jada, just brings back Jada from Charmed. I really want her to be in this, but not with Mel right now because Mel's being a biatch. They have to actually recognize that they have allies before they start treating them better because they don't get it. It's like they feel like everybody does things for them because they're the charm ones and they're entitled for help, but yet they can pick and choose who to help. And I don't understand that theory. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. It's weird. And I just chalk it up to bad writing because that's what it is. Let's see. I'm going to need Jordan to find himself a hot young thing. And I hope Maggie feels some type of way at this point. Dang, I know. How can you just go from having this conversation of there's definitely feelings there, but I need it to be about me this year. And then have a vision of you screwing this guy. Just like, all right, Phoebe. Like, you do you, boo. Because something is wrong. Something is absolutely wrong, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to move up. Abby and Jordan can be friends. Friends, I say, laugh at. I don't want another Harry situation. No. We don't need Jabby or Jobby. We're not trying to do all that, but I do think that they would be very good friends. I think they would. Quite frankly, she almost died and he was taking care of her when she was, spitting up the ash when, all magical creatures were dying. Jordan was the one taking care of her. Granted, he was a medic, but still, he was the one taking care of her. So, dude, this episode, just no. I am normally good at finding the good in the girls, but Mel and Maggie, just no. No, I can't even. Thank you. I'm just like, I cannot wait till the Turnout does his review. I know he's going to be so damn mad about Jordan. I just cannot wait. He's gonna be so mad. I thought we need to make a banner. Hashtag bring Jordan, justice for Jordan. Hashtag justice for Abby. So stupid. No Book of Elders spells. Yeah, I didn't even look at the Book of Elders today. Literally all these characters this episode, apart from Hasey and Jordan, had me on defibrillator from my blood pressure shooting through the roof. That's why I'm drinking water. I'm like, my water. Every time when I gets out of tune, I start, when we start spilling the tea too much about this, I gotta go. And in case you think I'm not ready, I got another bottle. I'm like, not playing today. I knew this stream was going to get emotional. Let's see. Harry, you said the Tomb of Chaos. Yeah, is that what they called it? I think I might have missed that, but that's actually a really cool name if that's what the prison is called, the Tomb of Chaos. Yes, Jordan can be relevant on his own. He does not need no, he does not. You don't look, I know we as women like to say we don't need no man. Look, Jordan don't need no woman, and he sure as hell don't need no Maggie. I'm like, let her go. Let's see. At least she didn't use the power of 3 on her at the end and instead woke Abby up. True. Very true. I was noticing the ring, like she had the ring on and she was turning the ring. And then that's how Mel recognized her. So I wonder what the significance is about that ring. Or is that just something she was doing because she was nervous to talk to Mel, saying, because she said it when, you're the only one I trust. And she was like turning the ring around. So I don't know if that was like a nervous tick or if it actually has some kind of significance. So I would love to know what that was about. But that is how Mel, because Mel noticed her doing that. And that is how Mel knew that that was Abby. Man, like guys, Ella, both Batman and Charmed had serious lesbian drama. Oh no. See, as a woman, a queer woman in an LGBT marriage, I just need something to be stable. Is that so hard? I mean, Nancy Drew's already ticking me off with Elizabeth just gone. She was in there for one episode and she, Bess didn't show up and she's just gone. And I haven't reviewed it because I was so annoyed by that whole situation. So why is the CW so hell-bent on separating all the queer people? I don't understand it, but you know what? That's fine. Whatevs. Abby and Mel have, what is that? Major UST? I must be reading that wrong. You have to tell me what that was, Kevin. Forced drama. True. Abby deserves better treatment. Yep. After all these times, Abby has helped them for Mel and to act like that was so annoying. I know. I mean, why though? I don't understand. What is it? I just don't understand. Nervous twitch. You think it was a nervous twitch, Ray? I do think that you might be right because it did kind of look like it matched her outfit, but I'm just being random. That could be like an accessory. I don't know. But that was the one thing that saved her because had she not done that, then she probably would have been vanquished. Hashtag justice for Abby. Yes, we need a justice for Abby and a justice for Jordan. Or we can even say hashtag justice for Abby and Jordan. Maggie should have been cured of bad boy-itis after Parker. Like the girl didn't learn anything. She hadn't learned anything. Come on. If Maggie learns a lesson in one episode, she forgets it 2 episodes later. So no. Maggie looks like she's going a little cuckoo in the next episode from that promo. I think they're all going nuts. Abby said something was trying to kill her in her sleep and asked Mel for help. And we just see Mel on her phone. Yep. While Abby's room was on fire. Seriously, she's supposed to be watching Abby. Yeah. She had to get on Instagram and look at Instagram Bella Muffin. Like priorities, charm one, helping of somebody who needs help, Instagramming while the person's frying to death. I mean, I see it. Bad writing. Maggie's curls are growing on me. Gemini, I'm glad because that is my natural hair. Mine is not, they're not as big as hers, but you probably see it. I even have my hair like that in another stream on the channel. But yeah, me and her have not only, my hair looks dark, guys. My hair is actually reddish brown. It's very red. It's the lights, I think. But my curl pattern is literally the same as Maggie's, only not as bushy. So I just don't have that like curly a lot here because the humidity in Tennessee sucks. And I just don't want to look like it gets so frizzy. It looks like I stuck my finger into like a light socket. So I can't control it all the time. So I don't feel like dealing with all that because I don't want you guys to be like, what happened to her? Is she okay? So I love my curls, but I just don't love them in this environment. Now, if I was back in Honolulu where me and my spouse were like this time a year or 2 ago, I think it was 2 years ago, on point. You can wear your hair curly, wavy, whatever. The frizz did not care. So that's one thing about, I know it's expensive, but Hawaii loves your curly hair. And so I will go there in a minute. They may not be married yet, but Macy is such a supportive wife. She does. They have married, they're like hashtag married goals, right? I love it. Harry and Macy remind me of me and my spouse, only my spouse is not as down, I guess, on oneself like at that, because Harry just seems like, I don't know why he just now figured out he was older. How did he not know this? Like, you're immortal. Like, why did you not figure this out? But again, as I said earlier in the stream, in case you guys were in here when I said this, why is he having these geriatric moments with his back? Because it doesn't make any sense. If you don't age, why are you suddenly having this reaction to things? Why are you pulling muscles in your back? It doesn't make any sense. Unless you injured his spine. I don't remember any of that. So that's really was there no promo next episode? There wasn't on my end, but I did go see it on YouTube. And so there was one on YouTube for the next episode. It should have just popped on there like probably 20 minutes before I started the stream. So there was a promo. I like that Abby revealed Mel's abandonment issues. Yeah, she didn't like that. Mel was like, well, F you. You can just deal with your problems yourself. And they went to her room. So mature. Let's see. Yes, that needs to happen. Harry and Parker had with Macy. Did I miss something? You're way okay. Mel is into Abby. She just doesn't want to admit it. Ruby is safe and reliable and comfort, but Abby is passion and fire. It's Cisco because Macy and Maggie issues with men and Abby. Harry and Parker had with Macy. It's sisters. You're right though, because like when I do love how Abby first said, "Did you miss me?" But then when they were like, when she was talking to her, she's like, I know you care about me. And she's like, basically she didn't say no. She just had this kind of look on her face. And she kept saying, don't push it a lot, but she's not denying it. She never flat out said, I don't give a crap about you, Abby. So I'm not ruling them out. I mean, honestly, I just right now, until Mel gets her crap together, she doesn't need to be with anybody because how she treats Abby is absolutely stupid. And then let's not forget, Ruby wants nothing to do with her witch, because she's a witch, with witchcraft, with witch lifestyle, with any of that. She does not want to be involved, but yet you're dating a charmed one. And in the season finale of season 2, pretty much technically, because technically what we had in the first 2 episodes was the season finale, but the last scene, our last episode, and I think that one of the last scenes we saw of Mel and Ruby, it looked like they're about to break up because Ruby's like, I don't want to be in this life. And Mel's like, but this is my life. And they never effing resolve that. They're still together. They act like this conversation never happened because, again, it is bad writing. It's a bad writing. You cannot have issues that never get resolved and then just be like lovey-dovey and act like it never happened. So it's stupid. It's just really stupid. Maybe their immortality spell is wearing off because the elders died, although I don't know why it wouldn't have happened sooner if that was the case. True. Maybe though the length of time he was a white lighter, it has to catch up with him. That really would be a good way of writing that. It's like, the elders are dead for what, like a year now? They're all wiped out like for a year. So a year or 2 years, I have no idea. But if he's been a white lighter for over 100 years, then that means all of that time has to catch up gradually, meaning maybe he could have the same lifespan as Macy. Just a thought. They're mixed faith relationships. Yeah. Harry's back cracking has to mean something. It keeps coming up. Maybe he's not immortal anymore since he killed Jimmy. That, So you think maybe, because they did, okay, I know that, so Jimmy is the dark side. So I do know that right now, 2 halves of a whole are incomplete because Jimmy's supposedly dead. But what if the reason he's having these back pains is not because he killed Jimmy, it's because Jimmy is still alive and he stabbed him, and he stabbed him like through the stomach area, through his back. Maybe that's why he's feeling the pain, because Jimmy's out there healing and suffering. I like that theory. I like that theory a lot. Harry becoming immortal. I don't think he's going to become immortal per se, because they need to have some kind of healing, or at least some, because I know with Leo, he lost his powers a lot as a white lighter, one for punishment and one just because he gave him up to be a Piper. But I don't think, unless no, because there's no elder oversight besides Celeste to even say you can't be with a charm one, elder white lighters can't be together. So I really feel like Harry's going to keep his powers, but I think it's probably connected to Jimmy, But I think if I was writing it, I would make it so his lifespan is more of a human lifespan, because of his connection to the elders. So he's losing his immortality, meaning he won't age at all, but he will age like a normal human being. And I think that would be very cool. And that would solve a lot of their problems. I don't know if they'll do that though. Let's see. When are we going to see Ray again? You think there's continuity. That's cute, mercenary. I don't know. You would think they would actually contact Ray, who is an archaeologist, to help them research things that have a deep, connection to, I don't know, ancient artifacts. But no, why would we do that? Let's see. I mean, Harry is a handy transporter, and the connection with the elders was severed in season 1. So I don't know. Yeah, we don't know the complete ramifications of that, but we do know because Harry was not tethered to them. Like he basically cut his own connection to the elders. Then he didn't perish like the other ones. I will say though, Harry is such a mystery even now. Like I don't want them to never tell us about this other family. It's driving me crazy. It's like, why don't we get to know you? Like you cheated on your actual first wife and had a son with her, and then created a whole other family that Abby knows about it because she saw it in his mind. And it's like whenever Harry is really judgmental to Abby or anybody, I keep thinking, but you were no good when you were a human. You actually were more Jimmy than Harry when you were, a human being. I mean, to be fair, he did this. So can you really throw stones? The way they are treating Jordan, and I would not be surprised if him and Abby team up. I would love to have them form some kind of team. Abby is a redeemable character because she wants to be saved. She wants to have somebody show her emotion. The problem she has is that her mother did not like her demon side to the point where she didn't like her. So her mother and her sister don't treat her like anything. Her father tried to kill her and favored her brothers. She has no friends. She has no actual connections to anybody. And the only people that she ever cared about were Harry and technically the charm ones, and more specifically has more of a connection with Mel. And all of them treat her like crap. What do they think is going to happen? This is comic book 101. You are making a villain. You're doing this. So it's stupid. But I mean, to be fair, let's go back to the mind virus idea. The girls don't make good, decisions. They just really don't. Macy is a little bit better. And to be fair, Macy actually didn't go with Mel and Maggie when they did the mind virus thing on Jimmy and come up with all that. They did that on their own. They should never let Mel and Maggie come up with ideas and go do them on their own, because they are doomed to fail. They are doomed to be screwed up. No. At least Macy has critical thinking skills. She's a scientist. She uses logic. I don't know why the other two sisters are allowed to do things at all. Maggie should never do anything. She just learned to be, a good charm one, a good sister, and learn how to be a mature adult. That should be her goal. That should be what she spends her year doing. She should be honest with Jordan. I can't be with you because I'm still 16. Please allow me to actually realize I'm a lot older than that and should act my age and older. That's what should happen with that. I'm going to get a lot of crap about that, I'm sure. But you know me. It's okay. I don't care. Abby told Mel about the sisters, so she is definitely going to show up this season. Well, maybe. It depends on the writers. Because just because they do these revelations, hence like Harry's other family, doesn't mean we'll ever see them. Macy is the eldest, and it shows. Yep, it also shows that she was raised by herself, away from by a parent that had common sense. I'm like, maybe being separated from Marisol and her sisters was a good thing, because it allowed her to be independent and a free thinker. Because if she had been raised in the Vera household, she would have needed a therapist a lot faster. So just throwing that out there. When Mel tries to say that she doesn't Sorry, I just complained. Sorry about that, guys. When Mel tries to say that she is jumping, care about Abby, please, girl. Yeah, that whole thing was stupid. That was stupid. She protests too much. But I mean, again, even outside of the shipping, who knows what's going to happen with that? Even on a friendship level, that is effed up. It is effed up. I don't know. Maybe Antonio's a warlock. I don't think so, because then Maggie wouldn't be able to touch him. It would be cool if he had something going, but I don't think so. Abby would be fine if she had people in her life that cared about her instead of acting like they don't care about her. You know, like Mel. Yeah, like I don't get that. Like, how did Mel not forget that Abby was the one that helped her get out of that demon jail when she could have just fled and went in her own thing? And when they went to her apartment to go find something they were trying to find for Macy, and the demons were in her apartment, and she wouldn't leave Mel there when she could have actually just teleported herself out. Why does Mel forget all of the good things that Abby has done for them that actually saved their lives from the beginning? Yes, she's done some shady stuff. She's half demon. She's going to do some stuff. When Macy got in touch with her demon side, she was very hard to deal with. So, I mean, they forget. They just forget. And I don't understand it. It is so stupid. Oh, gosh. This episode did the impossible for me. I am liking Abby more than Mel and Maggie. Like, honestly, I am leaning towards Team Abby. I'm telling you. I've been saying it from the beginning. If you now with this attitude, if you go back and just watch how they treat Abby in the past, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. They have been doing this to this girl from day one. When she first came in, I thought she was kind of trash too. But then I started like listening to what she was saying. And then I was like, you know what? Guys, she's actually just sad. She's a sad person. You can see it. Maggie, you're a psychology major. How do you not dissect that? How do you not? You're talking about doing a project on using dance from trauma. How do you not do that? That's crazy. Super chat. Everyone in this chat, good night and stay safe. Thank you, Brian, for being here. I know it's late, guys. We're at 46 minutes. We're probably going to go a little bit over an hour, so I won't let, I know it's a school night or a work night for people. I won't keep you guys up. I love talking to you guys about this. You guys are great. I love your theories. And again, disclaimer, if you don't like Abby, you are still welcome in this chat. If you don't appreciate what I'm saying about Maggie and Jordan's situation, I am not going to be one of those people that jumps on you. These are all my opinions. These are not real characters. At the end of the day, I have no beef with these actors. I'm not going to go out and make voodoo dolls of them and put pins in them. So please don't feel like you're being attacked. And I just want to disclaimer that because I don't think I did a really good job of doing that in the past. I respect everybody's opinion. I'm just using my water to calm down my blood pressure over what I disliked in this episode. But feel free, if you want to say anything to counter what I'm saying, you will not be disrespected in this chat. I promise you. So just putting that out there. Let's see. Whoever wrote that line, Romel said that Abby should listen to her subconscious when they literally found out that she's trying to kill herself is really toned up. I will say that is really, and like the whole anti-mental health, kind of theme in this episode kind of bothered me because that is very serious. If somebody is self-harming and then you're just like, well, hope you work that out, that's kind of messed up. And that's what I meant when I said they just left her they basically just took a dump on her and told her to go deal with her life. That is horrible. That is absolutely horrible. And I would not be surprised if they get some kind of, controversy over that or some feedback at least saying, hey, that's not how you do that when you talk about suicide. If somebody's self-harming, that is a real issue. And you don't just brush off just so Mel can go outside and get a muffin with her girlfriend. So yeah, that is an issue. I also feel like Abby handles her demon side better than Parker and Macy have. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, a lot of her demon powers are still in the totem, but I mean, it's still, you're of two worlds. I'm mixed. I'm of two worlds. I have to handle the fact that I'm never going to be Black enough and I'm not going to be Scottish enough or Native American enough. So I'm just me and I just claim them all happily, all of my nationalities and all my races, but it's tough. It is tough. When you have a voice and you want to be part of something and you can't. So I can see that from Abby's perspective of she doesn't know if she's a witch. She doesn't know if she's a demon. She can't do both. So she's leaning more towards the demon side, but they don't really accept her. And she can't go towards the witch side because her mother's traumatized her over that. So it's a lot. It is a lot. Mel's entire, yeah, you're right. What Mel did to Abby was so dark. That whole thing, I mean, it's messed up. And then woman just told you she has abandonment issues. So not only did you mess up by not caring that she tried to kill herself, you're also showing that her depression and anxiety mean nothing and she just needs to deal with it. Because it's Abby. If it had been another character, it would have been different. It's so sad. It's just really sad. Yes, they have a real issue with dealing with mental health in this show. They did it with Macy in season 1. Yep. And now they're doing it with Mel and Abby. I mean, yeah, I need to look and see who wrote this. And I need to compare it to other CW shows. And I can see a trend here, of the bad writing that is happening. I don't get it. I know that the writers are very overworked and stressed, but these are things that you really, really need to get right. If you don't get anything else right, you don't mess with, you try very hard to mess with race, with, rights, human rights, women's rights, and you definitely don't do anything when it comes to mental health, because mental health is a big deal, especially during COVID, where a lot of people are facing anxiety and depression from being away from people so long. So that's just tasteless to me. So yeah, I have issues with that. The writers are very responsive on Twitter, and then hers was suppressed. I have a Twitter. I don't really do a lot on it. Like I hardly post anything on that thing. But if I want to see if anybody says something about it though, so maybe I will check it out. I'm so glad Mel confirmed she doesn't want Abby. Thank God. I love Ruby. That's fine. Like I said, Ruby is not a bad character. I personally, though, I don't like their chemistry. I don't feel like they have chemistry. I think that Ruby, honestly, if she was not, actually, I don't know if she's lesbian. Is she completely lesbian or is she bi? I don't know if they've ever stated that, but if she was like bi or pansexual or identified as queer like I do, meaning I like both, it's basically pansexual, then I could see her getting with Jordan. And I think that would be a very healthy relationship. Though honestly, though, it might be kind of boring because they're very safe people, but I really think I could see them together. But I don't, whenever Mel and Ruby are together, it's like this forced chemistry, especially if you look at Mel's face. And I don't know if the actress is doing this on purpose. It's almost like she's like, how much more of the scene do we have left? It's just really interesting. Now, Ruby is very expressive. I love her. I think she has the cutest voice. She's adorable. So no hate on Ruby. I just don't think she's right for Mel. But right now, guys, I don't think anybody's right for Mel. So I don't like how Mel has treated Nico. I don't like how she treated Jada. I sure as hell don't like how she treats Abby. I don't like how she even treated Kat. And that was like a millisecond. And the whole thing with Ruby right now, even the whole jealousy thing was just in poor taste. So Mel, my favorite character in Charmed, is actually sinking way down on my list today. And I never thought I'd say that. Ruby is oatmeal and Abby is lobster. Yeah, Abby is more exciting. I think that's what it is. I mean, they have so much chemistry. Like just from Abby's voice when she's like, you miss me. You miss me. She's like, she literally talks like she's having phone sex with her. And it's just like, and Ruby's kind of like, oh, I sent you a text message and you didn't answer it. And I thought something happened. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, she's a charm one. She could be fighting a demon. How many text messages has she probably missed from you? That was a really weird reason to have Ruby at the house, if I'm really being honest with you. They could have come up with something better than that, like made plans and then she just stood her up. Not, I sent you a text message 2 hours or 3 hours ago and you never responded. That's a little weird. Let's see. Mel and Maggie need a year of how to treat other people. 101. Yeah, it's sad considering that the class that Mel teaches. She should be more aware of people's, responses and etiquette and how to actually be with other people in society demographically and, on their level. I just think it's interesting. And she's an activist. A person who identifies as a social activist, just treated somebody who needed help like crap. Imagine if Jada comes back and Abby and Jada get together because Mel pushed both of them away. Yeah. Actually, I would love to have even Nico. I think Nico and Abby would be cute because Nico is very adventurous and, she's a detective. And Abby would be that person that learns to open up because of Nico, though Nico did cheat on her, her girlfriend with Mel. So maybe not. Okay, we'll go back for Jada. Jada's fine. At least the other sisters are trying to keep their relationships going. Yeah. I mean, you really have to give them props for that. You have to give them props for trying to keep their personal lives, separate from their magical lives, but actually still as healthy as possible, having this allergy and having, all these responsibilities. It's hard to balance all that. I have to respect all of them for trying to do that. I don't understand how they do it. Like, case in point, I don't know if you guys watch Superman and Lois, but Superman is made a vow to his family to always be there. He even does something in the last episode where he's basically putting a time constraint on himself by voluntarily doing something that a superhero can't do, because this role means you're in charge of a lot of people. And you still have to go at the drop of the hat when you hear something happen. So like a bridge is collapsing, whatever. You can't just abandon these people and then just go fix this problem and then not have repercussions. So I kind of feel like that's exactly what is happening with the Charmed Ones. Like they are the Charmed Ones. And yes, in OG, they did try and have their lives, basically balanced out, but something always interfered with it. And so I don't know how they're going to pull this off. I really don't. Like, especially Mel. Mel is a college professor right now. That is very demanding on a tenure track, but yet you're a Charmed One. How are you going to do this? Like, I don't get that. And how is Maggie going to skip classes if she wants to get this internship? You can't get the internship and then bail on it all the time. So it's not realistic to me, but that's just me. The fight with Mel and Abby look like Human Torch and Elsa. Yep. Mel needs to take a long look in the mirror, yes, and call herself a hypocrite. You're absolutely right. Hasty is definitely doing the best job at relationships at a distance. It's not easy, but they are doing a far better job than season 2. I am very proud of them, especially this episode. They've been really, like, every episode have been getting better. And I like them together. They have chemistry. So, you can't hate on Hasty. You just can't. Let's see. His kids are messed up and dysfunctional and are clearly have more resentment towards him. Clark, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that after Tuesday. I'm not gonna do my Arrowverse Tuesday. I'm gonna move it to Wednesday because I have a acting showcase that I'm in Tuesday night, but I definitely will be doing that on Wednesday. Hasty wedding, yes, please. Wait, I didn't watch the episode as yet. What happened? Well, Davey, we learned that unfortunately Maggie and Mel have a lot of growing up to do, and the treatment of Abby and Jordan is atrocious, and we're starting a hashtag, justice for Abby and Jordan movement. Magic Mel, I was thinking that almost the whole episode. Let's see. Paige is the only sister to have a personal life with a mortal and have a dual role and make it work. Phoebe and Piper totally cheated with dating magic guys. That is so true. Heck, Phoebe ended up with a Cupid, so that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. And I will tell you this, Antonio better not be Endgame, and he better not be a Cupid. I'm putting that out there now. You can't have Hasty watch me. I love them, but come on. Hey, again, you missed this, but disclaimer, you are free to hate and love and have opinions on anything you want, and I'm not gonna get upset about it, I promise you. So if you are anti-Hasty, more power to you, Davey. Definitely need a Hasty wedding by the end of the season. Well, they might. I don't know. They're still trying to get their stuff together. They have to touch each other. Sorry, trying to move up a little bit. Mel and Maggie need their old powers back. I miss Maggie being able to read minds and Mel being able to freeze time. I know I miss their season 1 powers so much. Oh, I miss them so much. Love them. I cannot stand the whole Elsa Human Torch powers that Mel have. And I'm not okay with Maggie's powers because, quite frankly, her empath stuff was all over the place. Sometimes she seemed telepathic, sometimes she said empathic. She was able to use her emotions to fight with her staff. But I mean, I do like now that she can use her powers actively to change emotions and all that stuff. But Mel's powers is the time witch. I really, really miss those. If someone starts a position for better treatment of Abby and Jordan, I will sign it. I'll have to make a banner, put it on my channel. At least Harry and Macy are at the same development stage and makes it easier to work with. I agree with that. I hope we get to see Jordan saving more witches. Yeah, I'm wondering how he has time to go to school and he's not saving anybody. Is his life still not in danger? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand how. Is he going to use the law to save witches? What if that girl that he has the case against through his corporate or through the corporate law firm, what if she's a descendant and he just, made it so she lost a court case? Are they going to come for him? Questions, guys. That opens up a whole other avenue. What if every case that Jordan takes through this new law firm turns out to be one of the descendants of the coven that he's supposed to be saving? That would be good writing, but they won't. Oh yeah, did they forget Jordan? Of course they forgot Jordan's curse. So I'm telling you, the way Charm's writing works is it's only applicable for that episode. They will include it. If it's not, it stays on the back burner. I don't care how crucial it is. I don't care if you have 2 days to live. If we have to do another story and another episode, you get a reprieve, and those 2 days, the 48 hours do not ever come. That's just the way it is. It's really weird to me. Why Abby demon form looked like she saw like that. Also, I completely forgot about Jordan's curse. Yeah, the writers forgot about his curse too. He brings it up every now and then, talking about how he wants to save witches, but that's literally all we got. Abby, I don't really know why her demon form looks like that. I know that when we used to see Cole as Balthazar, he used to change into like a freaky looking demon. So maybe that's just the way it is. Maybe that's what her demon form actually looks like. I wonder if Parker, I don't remember Parker having that type of look. I do remember his eyes being weird. I don't remember him looking like that. That seemed to be more like a whole demon thing. So I don't know. I don't know why her demon form look like that. I mean, if the fact that it had the fire throwing ability that she got from Macy is interesting. But I kind of liked it. Yeah, Kevin's like, Kevin, stop reading my mind. I like Abby's demon form. I thought it was really cool. It really was cool. It's very powerful looking. And she's just like wearing a dress and she has a little makeshift crown. I mean, girls, she'll style. Look, she's styling like a demon. Hasty can be proposed by the end of the season. And in season 4, demons ruin the wedding and Macy be sad and break up. Boom. Now that's good writing. Oh, Davey. Is that what you want? You want them to break up? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that Hasty is going to be endgame, especially since they have a huge following. They follow trends. Parker is a shadow demon. Yeah, he is, but I thought all of the kids were shadow demons from Alistair because they're all related. I mean, yeah, Hunter was full demon. And then Parker and Abby are both half. Parker's half human. Abby's half witch, half demon. So, let's all agree that Alistair he's just a hoe. He slept around. So God knows he could have other kids out there. No, break up. Okay, let's see. I kind of like Abby and Mel together way more than Ruby, at least. I know they have chemistry. It's weird. I at least want them to start off being friends. They make it seem like she's just this evil person and it's stupid. Are you going to talk about PBG? Okay, you're going to tell me what that is, Madness. I'm not sure what that is. Are you saying Powerpuff Girls? The cast? Did they announce it? Not in this video, but if I find a Powerpuff Girl live action cast stuff, I will make a video about it. I'm posting my Winx video tomorrow. The Fate Winx Saga one finally had to redo it. So I will look that information up and I will make a video about that too. But let me get through that and Batwoman and then I'll see if I can do a little whatever react. Because I still don't know how I feel about that. I read the premise for that show. I'm just not sure how I feel about it. Wasn't Mel supposed to be rebuilding the Book of Shadows? Yes, she was. And if they have the Book of Shadows, all of a sudden Mel would be working on it in secret, because that's what happens. She's like, all those nights I was in the room, you thought I was sleeping. I was just putting the book together from memory. I don't know. I have a feeling Parker is going to pop back up. That's possible because he's dating Maggie in real life. So he has skin in the game. Maybe he needs a paycheck. Quarantine is rough. Gemini twins. You want to have 2 kids with a demon? Okay, expand on that. Who's having 2 kids with a demon? Are you asking how the mothers had 2 kids with the demons? Because that's something I've been asking from day one. So let me scroll up a little bit. No, Hunter's a smoke demon, Parker's a shadow demon, Alistair's a fire demon, and Abby is a skeleton demon. Okay, Blue Saber, you were on it. Thank you for that. Because I've been so much into their human sides that I just didn't pay attention to that. So good looking out. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to get on that. I'm going to have to go and look at everybody's backstories and lores, because I come up with a lot of theories, but I probably need to know a little bit more about all of their lineage. Because I know that I've always known that, Parker's mother was the human scientist that, Macy was working for, and with her and Galvin were working for, basically. And that pretty much we know Abby's mother is a powerful witch that wants nothing to do with her. I really want to know what happened, because if she tried to take her demon side out and put it in this totem, why does she still turn on her daughter? Why? You would think she would embrace the part that was her. That's so weird. Unless she looks at Abby and always sees her as Alistair. I don't know. It's really weird. The continuity curse is worse than the magical allergy. I like that. I like that. This show has a continuity curse. You're absolutely right. If Jordan is going to lose Maggie, it can only be from Parker, not this rude person we are seeing now. True, but Erica, I will say this. Antonio has made one valid point. He said that the reason he talked over Maggie in class is because he comes from a household with brothers, and if he doesn't speak up, then he's not heard. That is verbatim what Maggie was saying in season 2. She said her sisters weren't listening. And if you really listen to Maggie in class, she's always vocal in class and talks and makes her points expressed more than the other people in the class. So really, the other people in her classes should be kind of like, can we talk? Do we get a chance to say anything? You and Antonio, you're talking all damn day. Why are we the only 2 competing for this internship? Are there no other people that want to be on this internship in psychology? It's just such a weird thing. I really would love it if a third person came in and swooped it and got it over them. That would be amazing, because nobody is even talking about anybody else applying for this internship but her and him. So it's weird. I don't care. I don't like him. Hey, that's fine. I have no real opinion of Antonio other than the fact that I didn't want him to get with Maggie. And it seems like that's what they're going to do, because that's what they do on this show. Let's see. She only took her demon form away, but Abby takes after her father more. Okay. I got you. Jordan comes in and gets it. Erica. Keep this PG-13. I miss Kevin this episode. I think we're going to see a lot more of Kevin. But I mean, see, guys, I say that. But seeing how they handle other characters and how they handle the mental health scenario and all of this, I can't promise that. Kevin may have already served his purpose. I don't know. If Mel ever goes to school, I guess we'll see him again. Maybe he'll actually have an issue and that she has to help with and is actually capable of helping with, which I don't know what that would be. Because I'm married to a transgendered person. My spouse is biologically female, but is trans male and Korean, which is fun. That's such a fun thing to tell your Korean family. So I know the struggles with dysphoria and all this stuff. And I have no clue if Mel is even on the wavelength of that. If you can't handle Abby trying to self-harm, there's no way in hell I'm going to believe you can handle somebody who's transgendered and all of the issues and struggles they go through. So no. Is Maggie going to get repercussions from using personal gain against Antonio? Taylor. Look at you. Okay, that's a good question. Have they ever gotten personal gain issues? Like have that? I mean, I know they do things that cause things to happen, like, you know, Macy accidentally pulling her favorite characters out of her TV show, or the vampire TV show that she liked or whatever. I'm gonna have to go back and really look and see what kind of personal gain the girls have ever gotten from doing that, because that's a really good question. I don't know. I know one of the things that happened as a personal gain is it made her look like a bitch. I'm like, and Antonio thought she was a bee because, you know, like, I knew that the frat guys are bad, but they know you were too. So she did kind of get that. Maggie got the wart for person. She did get that wart. You're absolutely right. Okay. Well, see, I don't know how the rules are now. Like who enforced the personal gain? Was it the essence of magic itself? Was it the elders? Was it the Book of Shadows? What was punishing them? Guys, like, we need some established canon Charmed reboot rules. We really do. If you look online, and the Phantom Hunter didn't get the smoking power until after he merged with the Harbinger of Hell. Okay. Thank you, Magic Me. That is very helpful. I'm sorry, Ray. I just looked down. Thank you, Ray. That was very helpful. Magic Me, Ray. He had super strength and can resist Mel's time magic. Huh. See, I'm learning a lot more, guys, about the characters that I should know more about because I review this series, but there's just so much. And at almost 45 years old, my memory is crap. So we probably will repeat this conversation in the future and I won't remember it. And I'll just be thanking you all over again and be like, that's so awesome because I didn't remember that. Maggie also couldn't use her powers when she used the spell to take away her feeling. That is true. I do remember that. I do wonder though, do the rules change now? Like with their new powers? I wonder how that works. Because I want to know what punishes them. Is it their charm legacy? What is it? Is it magic itself? So you think, Ray, it's magic itself that's to personal gain consequences? Because I would love that. But then it wouldn't make sense because they use they use powers for personal gain all the time. So even like when they use potions, I think I have to go back and look at OG Charm. I don't know if potions were the extension of that, like if that was the exception. But even when, Harry and Macy or Hasty were going to the magical, Diagon Alley, basically, they used a potion to change their clothes to fit in. I wonder if that's considered personal gain, because they could have just gone to the thrift store and got crap and put it together and then gone, spent their own money. Just stuff like that. I always wonder just how far personal gain actually extends in this series. Because, they don't explain it. And it's not a continuity thing. When they write these scripts, sometimes I don't think they even think about that. So I think in this chat, we will have more exposition and continuity questions than they ever thought about in the writer's room. And that is the truth. So yeah, that's a problem. Let's see here. Maybe it's like destiny or fate that no personal gain. Could be. I hope Kevin finds out that there are witches and becomes like another Jordan. I don't want him to be like another Jordan because if they start treating Kevin's character that way, they're already treating a black man that way. Let's talk about this on a if we're going to go political level, they're treating the black man like, expendable furniture. Imagine when they do that to a transgendered in the LGBT community too. This show is going to get hit because Charmed is built up with progression in mind. Everything about Charmed was supposed to be, as a lot of people like to say, it's very woke, which I don't have a problem with, but a lot of people say that, So if you keep doing things that are opposite that, then you're going to get literally flamed, especially on things like Twitter, because they're going to get angry about it. So I don't know. I think they need to do something else with Kevin's role and not make him another Abby and Jordan, because right now Abby and Jordan are not doing that well and it's not cool. So honestly, it's almost like they don't know what to do with these characters. So they just throw these little stories here and there to make them have a paycheck. And it's stupid. It really is stupid. Like there's no universe where Abby should not be a series regular and in every episode helping them as an ally. I mean, in OG, they had Billy, and I thought Billy was a useless character. I love the actresses Penny in Big Bang Theory, but I couldn't stand Billy. And so you have somebody like Billy as a reoccurring character, but then you have a really cool, charismatic, smart, interesting, mysterious person like Abby who shows up every 12 episodes. It's stupid. And then you got Jordan sitting on the sideline saying, what am I going to do this week? It's just dumb. It's dumb. So if you don't need these actors, get rid of them. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of more questions. Yeah, Ray, I hope they explore that more. I really want to see more of the whole Ray, Marisol, Dexter stuff. I would love to have an episode where they go on the past and discuss that. That's what I said. Macy should have touched Harry to get the Orb Boy. Yeah, she didn't have to touch him. She didn't have to touch him. She could use her telekinesis. She could have made him immobile and taken it away. Yeah. But for plot purposes, will we have gotten the sweet, hasty speech if she did that? They had to give her a reason to use the power of hasty to her advantage. The Wiccan read and personal gain is a controversial thing to rest of witch cultures. Some film magic should have a personal and communal use. Yeah, there's a person that actually did a video about that. I don't remember. It was definitely on YouTube though, where they're talking about personal gain specifically in witchcraft and relevance to like comparing things relevantly to like transcendentalism and Walden and all that. I thought, that was really cool. It was a cool video. Just jumped on. Not sure if someone has said this yet. What if Harry is facing human stuff like the back pain because Dark Light Aversion is gone? Yes, Bria. We did talk about that, and I also don't know if Jimmy's gone. I'm wondering if it's either a reflection of him killing him and stabbing him through his stomach, through his back, or if he's still connected to Jimmy and he's feeling the pain, which probably is what it is. But then again, who knows? Who knows with Charmed at this point? Maybe he's not regular. Oh, Kevin. I think Kevin is actually supposed to be added on as a series regular, and that's what they announced him as. He was supposed to help a charm one with something or get over something or accomplish something. And what I think that actually is Mel introducing the new curriculum and stuff like that. But that actually was more to help him. I don't know. I mean, I guess she did get something out of it. She got to kind of stand up to her dean, but I don't know. I hope that's not the extent of Kevin. That's going to suck. I like having a different witch culture in this series. I like to see Latin witch practice. I know. I mean, we got close with Kat. I mean, she's not a witch, but she was a medium, which is very prevalent over there in Thailand and the Philippines. And I think her character was Thai. So I thought that was really cool at bringing that into the series. I would love for them to go around and do different magic, just have different forms of magic. I mean, we need to have a voodoo priestess. They did that in OG Charm. They would bring people in from different cultures that dealt with magic. So if you have this, command center with the ability to go anywhere in the world at any time with a magical, marble, then why don't you introduce more magical creatures? It doesn't make any sense. So, or at least other types of magic. Because, I mean, the magical creatures we're getting right now are from the magical Alcatraz. So it's kind of weird. Abby Parker and Jordan would do anything for the charm ones for nothing in return. The charm ones need to realize that they don't need to realize that they don't need to do that and start treating them better. Yeah, they need to realize that these people are actually, they're beneficial for their success in their journey as charmed ones. They're not expendable and that you are not entitled to anybody's help. Abby does not have to help you with anything. Jordan doesn't have to help you with a damn thing. The fact that they are doing that is actually called a privilege, not your entitlement. And I never thought I had to say that with charm ones, but you are not entitled to crap, baby girls. Not at all. So be happy when people help you and stop treating them like the enemy when you don't need anything from them. And don't treat them like they're expendable because you don't want to talk about your relationship, and then have visions of you having sex with another guy. It's stupid. It's stupid. So we know that this is not my favorite episode, guys. Well, it's not. We know it's not. Let's see. 2 more minutes. Then we'll be an hour and 20. So let me see. I want to see more magical creatures like leprechauns like they did in IG. The first season was awesome. Same here, not doing that as much, bringing different magic and magical creatures. Yeah, they talk about magical creatures, like having people, creatures' tongues, cut out and being okay with it. That still is bothering me. See here. I like K because OG Charm did have non-magical witches. It is canon to have magical practitioners and hereditary witches. I absolutely agree with that. That is very, very true. Sidekicks never get credit. Yeah, somewhat. That is true. Except for in Stargirl, Luke's gonna get that credit. Or at least so they say Pat, because Luke's his actor's name. I mean, we have yet to address who took over the elder's position. So yeah, they just throw these characters in for an episode of the week. That's it. They are not planning out anything. It's creepy to me. It's like, as somebody who has a film degree and who's, basically my specialty was editing and screenwriting. And I have so many issues with not outlining what you're doing. And if you're doing a successful outline, you don't just do it for one season, you do it for multiple seasons. And then you know what characters will do and what their place is. But my problem is, and this actually could not just all be their writers, it could be the CW network. I think they could be rotating writers in and out. Like they could have somebody over here on The Flash this week, Superman and Lois that week, like maybe like there's some other random CW show that I don't watch another week. And then you have, the pop over on Charmed. And it's like, they don't know. They're not as confident with the story. They just know what they want. And they have a basic outline of what's going on in the season. And they write off that without looking at the past seasons, without looking at what the other characters were, how they were connected, what their roles were. And I think that happens a lot on the CW. It's why they get so much flack for some of their shows. It's because of this. Continuity is not something that they do, and it's irritating. It's irritating. It's hard, especially since one thing I will give the CW credit for, they get us hooked on these shows. Like they get us in, and then you're invested, and then they just start going crazy. It's like, okay, we got them. Now we don't care what we do with them. We're not throwing them back to the ocean. So let's just throw stuff at them and see if they still like it. And it's like, that is how I feel. Next week's episode could be amazing. And it have no relation to this episode. Everything we saw accomplished in this episode doesn't have a damn thing to do with what happened next week. That is my problem. The only consistent thing that's happening right now is they have an allergy, they have jobs, and Hasty. That's it. Everything else is all over the damn place. And that's what I have a problem with. So it's hard. It is hard. But I would love to have a Crisis on Infinite Earth for Charmed or a Flashpoint and like literally just redo all this crap. We can even go back to the point of season 2. We can still have Abby and Jordan join in a capacity that's not how they were introduced and just redo it. And I think that would be cool because right now it's a mess. It is a mess. If you're asking me a word to describe this episode tonight, outside of Hasty, mess. A mess. So yes, guys, that is my review. I went a little over by 2 minutes. So we're at 122. You know the drill. This chat, it will play eventually, but it will disappear immediately when it posts after it processes. So please continue this conversation below. I love your guys' theories. I love the questions that you ask because quite frankly, we're not getting them on the TV show. So we need to get them. And again, I apologize for my late Fate Wink Saga video for those of you that were waiting on it. It is coming. I'm doing my best to have it posted in the morning. I'm just trying to render it and it's a really large file. I had to reshoot everything because it's just what it is. But it will be there tomorrow. I'm also going to do a live stream for Batwoman. I have to watch Batwoman because I haven't watched the episode tonight, so I need to watch it. But I'll do that tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then all of you who do my my Arrowverse Tuesdays, I'm moving it to Wednesday just for this week because I'm in a showcase that will be streamed online. And I put the link in the computer. I think I already did in the community tab. So there is one in there, but I'll do it again. If you guys want to see it, it's very short. It's like from 7, I think, to 8 Central Standard Time. But it's just my acting class. And we just are doing our live scenes. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, please let me know, guys, what you thought of this episode, because I know we had a great conversation in here, but I'm sure you have more points and more things to point out. So let me know. And then if you guys find out if there actually is any backlash over how they handled the mental health in this series or this season and this episode specifically, let me know, because I haven't been following that. So do let me know what you think about that. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining the live stream. I know it's late. So if you're going to school tomorrow, have a very good day and be very safe. If you're going to work, the same. If this is your end of your day, beginning of your day, good night and good morning. And I love you guys. I'll see you next time.